that's all the good OCs for this week. Now comes the point where we're able to have some real fun with this. Not that this wasn't fun. Let's not diffuse that point. But now we get to go into the bad OCs. Now, mid-episode while recording this, I forgot about this person and how they added it to our things to be critiqued. My OC this week is my bad OC this week is Fire Lily. Now, that's not to say that I don't like this person, I don't like this person's art, or that it necessarily is a doomed beyond all recover OC. It's just, out of the ones that were submitted, I find this the most lacking. Now, for those of you who don't know, this OC is, or can't tell, this OC is in fact a hybrid of a pony and dragon. Now, what this person makes or lacks, and necessarily, I don't know, that certain je ne sais quoi, thing, they make up for the fact that they have an entire Tumblr or an entire Ask blog about this person's, this particular OC. And some of it may not necessarily be the most safest for work, but it is still the fact that they show enough dedication to this character.
I think she's actually really cute.
You would.
I like the color palette.
I really like the color palette, and this is coming from someone who doesn't really like Dragonborns all that much, thanks to 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons.
I find it funny that my first introduction from this after the initial submission was the fact that I went to their Tumblr page and saw that there was a piece drawn by somebody else of her in a corset taking off stockings. And I'm like, well, this is going to be fun.
I don't know what her cutie mark is.
Her cutie mark is a lily mixed with a firework.
That is actually really cool. I actually really like that.
Damn it, it's supposed to be a bad OC.
I don't...
Now you see...
I also really like...
Those colors in the rainbow are incredibly saturated. For what, guys?
Get it together, game developers.
I don't know, I just... Usually it's not good to use good or high amounts of saturation in OCs, like, at all. In, like, any point. I'm just saying those are kind of highly saturated.
I guess I can see that where it looks like the green on the firework is a darker green than the green in her eyes.
Or on her mane.
The green in her eyes, it's not really hard to get much darker than that because it's pretty light.
And, I still really like it. I really like this OC.
Damn it. I'm not getting the vote this week, am I? Shit.
She's so cute.
There's a lot that I could say about this. I mean, I don't know if it's just the fact that there's not a lot of attention to the Tumblr page or what, but it just seems like it's real kind of slow going. It's supposed to be this ask/answer blog reply whatever, but it doesn't feel like it's got enough oomph to it. I personally don't like this OC because of a couple of different reasons. I think dragon mix is a little bit out there. I mean, and this coming from a guy that obsessively ships Spike and Rarity. Alright, it's a little silly. Alright, you got a hybrid. It's like weird. It doesn't jive with me 100%. You know what I mean?
And on the polar opposite of that, I love this OC now. She is super adorable.
Do that at least once a week.
Yeah.
I love her design, and it's just adorable colors, and I like her cutie mark a lot now.
Do you really like her mane?
That's the one part I dislike the most about her.
I'm getting like not to sound racist or whatever, but it's just one of those things that it feels gypsy-esque. Like you sit there and think of what's her name, Esmeralda or whatever
more
from
Chinese, like.
I thought Chinese.
Really?
Yeah.
I just ended up following her mid-episode, so she's really adorable.
Welcome to your OC sucks, I guess.
Where we say
Maybe.
nothing bad about anything and everything's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, just to counter Medi's obsession apparently with her, I am going to dig deep and try to find anything and everything I can nitpick about it.
No, don't do that.
Okay, I won't do that then.
You gotta have something. He chose it for his bad OC. He's gotta have something.
Okay, one of the things I find wrong with dragon hybrids is the fact that they always have to have that weird little loop or little of hair at the end of the tail. I don't know why. That just seems weird. The dealy bobbly dangles in her hair also seem a little bit odd and weird. It's just it's like, yeah, you're tying it off and it's giving it more of a gypsy vibe, and I'm not. And then plus the little horn things coming back, that seems to be, I don't know who started that, who thought that was a good idea. It just seems odd and weird, and I don't get it. Having clawed front paws, but still having like actual hooves. No, she has like claws on the front and then hooves in the back, which I think just is a genetic weird thing to do. If you're going to give her claws on everything.
Funny enough,
Yeah.
I normally don't like that at all. I really don't like I'm normally one way or the other, but for me, this actually, I don't know why it fits for me.
Why do I fix everything I touch? Like literally every time I bring up something, somebody just falls in love with it. The dragon wings I think is okay. I think having the dragon wings and maybe a fang off hanging out of the mouth gives it just that little bit needed to tell you, yes, she is a hybrid. She does things. She is, the result of interspecies hanky panky.
Hanky spanky eggs and bakey.
Exactly right. And I mean, in the older piece, the like weird scaly thing going down the middle of her head and body seems a little bit off and jarring, but when it goes to the newer piece, when their art is better, it feels like it's more natural.
Natural?
Yes, natural.
Wow. Now, I have a question for you, Mummified.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they could do to fix your qualms with their hybrid?
I honestly don't know. I would love to see it. And that's the thing, though. It's like, I don't feel like these are things that need to be changed because it's so ingrained to the person, like the actual character itself now. It's...
Listen to me, baby. Lily, you don't need to change yourself at all. I think you're lovely.
Medi, the sweet talker over here. I don't know. I give it a couple more months and maybe half a year. And then if I go back and look at this again, like retrospectively over the episode or something like that, their art may get to a point where it's something that I'm like, oh, I can totally get behind this now. Their art is able to convey what they want in the character. That's not to say that it's not at a point where they're probably happy with it. There's a clear difference between the two character sheets, but it's lacking. It doesn't have that oomph, like I said before. I probably might find this somewhere in their blog about her backstory, where she came from.
Backstory would help.
But due to the fact that this was submitted, like, I think 4 days ago, and I've kind of had a lot of stuff to deal with involving work and personal life, I just haven't been able to dig deep enough. But if I find something that I end up liking about it, I'll definitely make a note of it somewhere.
I honestly
Okay.
loved it.
I think Smooth seems to be pretty indifferent.
Exactly. That is what I'm going for here. It's... it doesn't really do anything.
No. Those were two completely different reactions. I was... You were...
The clear difference is made clear.
Ah!
And I was all like, ugh. Anyway, so I think I've rambled on about this enough. Going on to Smooth's Bad OC. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is Porcelain Parasite again.
Yeah. By the way, got a lot of submissions from this person.
Now, to be honest, I did just add everything they said was free range for us into our OC submission folder.
Oh, okay.
Which was like half of our folder.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if we had more people submitting, it might
Twas
be a
a
thing.
restless night in the EuroC Sucks house. All they had to look at was porcelain parasite.
A fate that was once doomed upon a lesser man, but thine.
But
they
thine,
came
from
they
the
came to-
heavens descended, Zoe Stardust with her lovely OC.
Shut up. Shut up. We're done. We're done talking about that. We're moving on to this one. All right, so
Gushed enough already.
Teenage Pony OC. Teenage Pony OC, a nameless pony who I did for my brother's friend. She was done really quickly, but I really need to start posting stuff again, so here's something to get me going. Hope to post some stuff soon. That is a lovely backstory.
Yes, it is an amazing backstory. It gives her a lot of character.
Okay, I think that's a good quote. I mean,
Is that a mushroom cutie mark?
I think that's a skull.
I think it's a...
It looks like a skull to me.
I want to say it's a mushroom.
Once you said skull, it's definitely a
yeah.
skull. That is 100%.
Although not a pony skull, so...
Is that an element of harmony?
That's what I was going to put.
Are her wings
it looks
super
like-
tiny?
I also something I was going to
Are
put
her
out.
ears supposed to be wings?
No, those
Is
are
that
just.
a piercing in her ears?
She has wings on
It's-
both
it's-
her
it's like
wings
in front.
and her ears, so she can correctly fly.
Guys, obviously she has
Yeah.
the Super Mario 64 power up.
Also, are those bands around her legs? If so, are they supposed to be a different color?
No, she
I
just
wanna-
wears transparent tape on her legs.
I wanna. The bow seems like a interesting color choice, in my opinion.
Okay, one of the issues I have with Teenage Pony OC is she really has no character whatsoever.
I don't know. She seems really calm, mellow. For her design, actually, almost goes against that. It'd be like kind of gothic,
Yeah, I was gonna say
sort of.
Yep.
Hair choice for the colors is really interesting given the gothic theme I'm feeling, because I'm sort of getting that with like what you're saying, like with the skull cutie mark, and it looks like a black Elements of Harmony thing.
He said he doesn't like her colors, and I agree with him. I don't really dig mocha brown pony. It's not to say that, you know,
No,
I can't say that. A lot
I
of
like
my
her
fri-
base color. I just don't like how it works together with her mane and her bow. It just seems like it's way out.
I can see that he was going for kind of fluffy ears, but they just kind of came off as wings in the ears.
Like, look lumpy. Something that I do like in this one is the fact that Porcelain Parasite, their atmosphere, I feel, is very nice. Like, looking aside from the pony themselves, like, it really reminds me of, like, a nice kind of field or the top of a hill or something. I like how they do scenery, I guess, is just the way I'm going to leave it. It's very...
I think having the one flower, sort of.
The one flower gives it a very, almost melancholic tone.
This pony needs to be more gothic with the freaking mane and stuff, because it would fit. I think it would fit really well if they did something like that. But I just think that the main colors just clash like with that idea so much because there's like I mean it's like pink and yellow basically. One thing I do like about sort of this picture, just this picture in particular, is I like the posing on the character because I feel that they got the anatomy down pretty well and stuff like that. I think it works. I don't know. It's a good pose.
There's a weird outline over like the whole OC of brown, and it just doesn't feel right. I probably would just get rid of that outline because it feels like if this was actually supposed to be a traditional paint, it would be like, oh, I'm going to jump the outline and then dab a little bit on the outside of the pony. And their art style leaves things oddly in focus and out of focus throughout. Like, the front of it, like, the things that were clearly given more detail, or what I feel like he probably focused more time on, like, the necklace, it has, like, this like smaller brushwork and smaller, you know, like more tight, like tighter, I want to call them waves just because of his art style. But when you like look 2 inches over at the cutie mark looks like it's way out of focus. So either if this was a camera, its, focus range would be so weird to the point that now the face is out of focus, but the element, I guess, is in focus. I don't know. I just love. I mean, Parasite's like outline, like border for the whole piece. I always love them because they're so. I don't know. Fade out is just so cool of a thing to do in my book. Like when they just fade out.
How, they did that on like almost all of the pieces except for like 2 that are in our folder, and it's weird that 2 of them don't have it.
Yeah.
It honestly bothers me more that the ones that don't have it than the fact that they do, because I think it's cool. Because it is a style.
Smooth, do you have anything to say about this, considering you're the one that owns it or brought it to the party?
Yeah, obviously, I own this OC.
Totally. Surprise guest, everything's adoptables.
Yeah, no. I almost go ahead.
I have to say that I like the mane. I wish we could freaking see more of it. And I also like the tail. Also wish we could see more of it. Please draw her more. Maybe fix the mane and body clash.
That's true.
Anyway, before we move on, I almost would want to see this person draw or try to recreate like a Van Gogh painting or something like that, because I'm getting a lot of Van Gogh in this for some reason. Moving on to Commander's bad OC for this week. Oh.
Whoa, never seen this artist before.
From Porcelain Parasite. Now,
haven't heard about this OC before in this very episode. Nope, not at all.
No, it wasn't totally rival.
Just because Porcelain Parasite, I want to say Parasite. God damn it, My Little Pony. Fuck.
What's that?
Porcelain Parasite. Now, just because 2 of your OCs are on here in a bad category does not mean we hate you. All right? We don't.
It just
think
means you were 50% of the choices.
What? 40%? Anyway.
It's at least 50.
Commander, tell us about this and why you submitted it to us.
Okay, so one of the things that this person seems to do, what I do, not give much backstory to any of the OCs, from what I can tell. Which is unfortunate, because I think backstory is a good way to flesh out OCs. I should totally do that for my own OC.
Yeah, I probably should too.
Cough.
But anyways, the reason, I think the one of the things about this OC that is probably the most off-putting to me is the color palette or lack thereof. It's like there's monochromatic, and then there's literally like this is Jesus.
It's only off by like a little bit of color.
Is it? Oh my God! It is. It's slightly off.
The mane and tail is just like a little bit warmer than the actual coat color.
I think that's the biggest complaint I have about the OC, and it took me forever. I totally didn't spend like an extra like 15 minutes trying to pick a bad OC after everyone else was done. Nope, no, not at all. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not that bad of an OC.
Hey, you're telling me the Your OC Sucks crew can't pick bad OCs for the show because they actually really like most of the OCs?
Oh,
most of the OCs that were like submitted to us, yeah.
I usually have a hard time picking a bad OC.
I always have a bad time picking a bad OC.
You've picked good OCs for your bad OCs.
Picking the bad ones is the easiest.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything as such as a bad character, just bad writers.
Whoa, man, that's racist.
We're talking about art, fag.
And when a writer writes nothing for a character, it doesn't add anything.
What about when an artist draws a character? We're talking about art, Medi. This isn't a writing podcast.
Visual. It just... Everything about this character seems to be washed out. Now, that could be an aesthetic choice, or it could just be a... Yeah. But it just seems like the eyes are super saturated, or not super saturated, desaturated. The hair is super desaturated. The body is super desaturated. The highlights on, like, the front of the, like, arm or hooves, and then even the reflections in the tail. It's like, yeah, those could be actual reflections, but I feel like they even just detract even more to it. I don't know. It just... This is what we're talking about. It's like this Parasite's particular art style can both be a hindrance and a enjoyment. Like an edge to him. Like, it's like, yeah, you have this brush that is amazing. Amazing being a loose term, but it is a good brush, and I like what you use it with, but do more with it. Brighten up your colors, add a little bit more pizzazz. Now, I'm not saying go super bright and crazy with your colors, just...
Too bright is bad.
Add more to it, like make your characters just a little bit more vivid. Now, if you're going for that art style and all your characters are supposed to be this kind of faded childhood memory, it's so fluff. There's so much fluff to this character that there's almost no real meat or character to it. I don't know. I don't think I'm saying what I'm thinking right, but that's the closest I'm gonna get with this. What do you guys think?
I think she's more of a shell right now. Until she's fleshed out, she looks nice. I really do like her design, and mainly because I'm a big fan of the color purple and stuff.
Yeah, man, the color purple is a great thing.
And I think... But...
Say it.
Say it!
I really like the style. I think if she got more of a character, I could like her more. But being that she's just kind of a pony full of fear, and she has a rival, that's about it.
Yeah, why would a pony filled with fear even need a rival?
That's what I was thinking.
What would they rival about?
Oh my god, you're my rival.
I'm more scared than you. Don't hurt me.
The front of the mane bugs me a lot. However, the back of the mane, I really like. And the tail, I would probably really like. If we had more pictures of angles and stuff, not just flat on the ground.
It looks like on the Listless is Afraid picture, it doesn't look like she has a mouth.
Alright, moving on to the final piece. We're going to take a look at Medi's piece.
Ah, yes, this one.
Oh, hey, look, it's not bad.
Oh my god, I was worried there for a second. I thought it was going to be another Parasite.
It is not Parasite, it is Reno Kim and her OC, Cotton Cloud.
Cotton Cloud was actually the second one that was ever submitted to us here at the show.
Now, I have nothing against Cotton Cloud and Reno Kim, but I really don't like her colors at all.
I like
How
the
so?
coat color.
How so? How so? What's wrong with it, Medi? Explain your reasoning.
I don't like the amount of colors in her mane, and then the desaturation point at her tail, where her tail begins, really bugs me. Because it doesn't... It looks
Weird.
unappealing to the eye. I like her eye color. Her eye color is something I actually really enjoy from this OC, but I really don't like her main color. Her coat color is fine, but her wings, I don't like the design of her wings all that much. But
Okay,
that's artistic. That's just my personal preference.
One thing I would like to point out about the eyes, and this is another artistic thing, and I'm just not sure if they didn't notice it or something, but it's like there's like an outline of the eye. The yellow.
There's like a stroke on the gradient.
I'd say that's probably like a shine thing.
Not sure.
I don't...
Looks like they did that on both sides.
Her cutie mark seems to be conflicting with her coat a bit, it almost seems. Because it's around the point where it seems she was darkening her character, like shading it, but the shading's a little off. And then all of a sudden, super bright colors.
Those are really saturated.
Yeah.
When most of her character was desaturated and then all of a sudden saturation, it's bothersome to the eye a bit.
Yeah.
But she looks really happy.
Going with the whole saturation and desaturation thing, like, if just one had been chosen, like, as an artistic style for the oversaturation, I'd be okay with that, because saturation is an artistic style. Just as long as the character itself isn't oversaturated, because I don't want to see a lot of that. But, obviously there is desaturation part of it, because, well, the tail has desaturation.
And it's either shading or desaturating the coat color as well. And is this done in Photoshop? I can't tell. Because if this is done in Photoshop, I think I know the tools she used for this, and I used to use those same tools, and I've stopped using some of those tools. Mainly because...
minor errors, could be possible errors, could be just choices when it comes to the artistic medium. There are gaps, like at the tip of the hoof that goes behind her, or just where the hoof and the mane disappear from each other, comes from back behind. There's a gap there. There's a gap at the base of her tail. There's gaps and over paints along the stroke of her arm going up. There's just, gaps at,
however,
like, all these different places. And they're just jarring enough that they just take me out of the piece. And, like, they ruin the experience, but not enough to, like...
I think you're thinking of it too much like a vector, though, because it's not.
I know, but...
I understand where he's coming from, because it's a very... I can see what she was trying to go for, but with the...
You either need to make it more obvious or not at all. Like, you have a great thing going on with the reflection or the shine in the hair, making that deep, thick wedge, like an axe just came into the color and was just like into it. It's really cool, and I like it. It's a little jarring when it comes to being on DeviantArt, but when you open it up in a download now thing, it kind of fits better with an all-white background. I think I might have put it in an all-white background if it was me personally. Not just the standard Deviant.
I would not put it in an all-white background, but that's just, again, personal preference, because...
I think I also think the stroke difference between the stroke in the hair not coming to like a perfect point, or at least at the bottom of the tail where it like comes down, having that little bit where the two strokes overlap and continue forward. It just, like I said, it's jarring. It makes it seem
She has some really cute
Sloppy.
freckles, though.
Yeah, freckles are okay.
Freckles are pretty cute.
Her wing seems too bubbly for a stabilized wing, but
One thing that sort of interests me is for the main, like they have all these colors, like how was it, like 5 colors? Looks like?
Purple, orange, pink,
Five.
white. Yeah, that.
Yeah. I'm not counting the white because that's high.
No, I'm not talking about. I meant light and blue.
Oh. But I love how they have these colors that are like not your standard. Like I can't. Those seem pretty saturated,
Yeah.
but they aren't like
well,
your
they
normal
get her hair saturates to a point, and then at the back of her mane, you can see the desaturation.
yeah. But like they're not the standard colors you see super oversaturated, which I find interesting. But then you get to the cutie mark, and it seems more like the colors you would see saturated a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which is an interesting thing. Also, what does the cutie mark stand for exactly?
That's one of the things. It's like, okay, you can then go into and find out that this was a commission for Cotton Cloud Philly. There's a lot of things that's interesting about this piece, but yet there's a lot of things that are just, I can't.
I think the biggest thing for me that like sort of bugs me is it's just having that many colors. Like, it's really hard to pull off having 5 colors in your main. Like, really hard. I would generally stick to having 2 maximum.
Do not
maybe
use
accents.
Rainbow Dash as your reference for coloring your mane.
Rainbow Dash breaks so many rules of ponies that it's not even funny.
It's natural for us now to see Rainbow Dash because we're so used to her as this way. But if someone probably introduced Rainbow Dash as a new character today, we'd probably look at them and be like, what the fuck is up with this bullshit? She has a fucking rainbow as her hair. Get that shit out of here, man. 2 colors. 2
If
fucking
Rainbow
colors.
Dash was a new, like a 1 episode character, she would not be as popular as she is.
No way.
Nope.
Not in the slightest. It's really not bad. I honestly really like the coat color and the eye color. The main jarring thing for me is the mane and tail.
The
I think
main
the
jarring
colors-
thing. Kill myself.
But I think all the colors individually, maybe if they were desaturated a bit, are nice colors and they can be used on ponies. I just don't think they really mesh well together, and having them all together in the mane or tail, I don't think it works is like that great. But that's just me.
The only thing I don't like about this is the cutie mark. Everything else, I'm like perfectly okay with. I don't know, freaking that mane gives a real pop style, and it makes me smile.
So yeah, that's everything. Now it comes down to the fated task of us having to vote for best and worst OCs for this week. It was an interesting episode, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of good things, bad things about all 4 of the good OCs this week. Like we have Red. Just to run down it again, I had Red Note. Commander had the fantasy incantation, the red and white medic pony. Starstruck was Medi's choice, and then finally porcelain parasites Queasley. And it's like they all had definite good things, but beating around the bush, I can't really do it because it's gotta be. It's got to be Starstruck, because having that many references in a reference sheet is so perfect, and not just because of coloring and style and whatnot. It's just one of those things where it's just like, that's great. I love it.
It helps the character.
It helps build the character, and that is almost overarching theme of this whole episode, is the fact that we had so many things in this show that were like, I can't get a feel for it. I don't know what's going on here. What's the whole character look like? I don't know. There's not enough pictures for it. But Starstruck answered everything for that.
In one picture.
In one picture. So, that's my vote for this week. Smooth, you're next.
You see, this is where things get incredibly difficult for me, because I too much about the little things, like Red Note. I just can't stop thinking about Top Heavy and Fantasy, or whatever the name, I guess. I can't stop thinking about the tail and the mane not matching. And it really bugs me, because they can be really good OCs and stuff, and I just... And Starstruck doesn't have any inconsistencies, as far as I can tell, but I don't generally like stars and designs and mains and stuff. It really bugs me. So I'm just sitting here. They're all good.
You guys are all faggots. Your OCs
They're all
suck.
good, but I have little tiny things about all of them. I'm just like,
Cry more.
I'm crying more, actually.
Cry more.
I'm already crying more.
Your vote goes to...
Fantasy.
Alright.
Woo!
Next is
That
Commander.
medic pony.
It's me. Oh, God. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't vote for my own.
Hey, man, I gave you time to think.
I think I gave you
know.
time to think as well.
You did. I want to. I really like Red Note, but that fucking ear thing. I can't get over that ear thing. I just don't understand it. It's perplexed me to no end. And I want to give my vote for Starstruck, but it almost feels like it's too easy of a choice for that. Like, just with having such a great reference sheet.
If you feel strongly toward it.
Yeah, I'm backing that too. It's like, dude, you're going to vote for Starstruck. You're not...
You almost literally just said it. Let's see. Well, my vote would go for, but...
It's too good. And I'm like, no, that pretty much means it's good. So go for it.
Yeah, Starstruck.
Fantastic. And just for shits and giggles, Medi, you can't vote for your own. So who are you voting for?
Well, this is gonna cause a conundrum.
Oh.
Because I really liked Fantasy the most.
Shit.
Yes.
You know what that means. Time for a rock, paper, scissors match. It's
time for
the internet.
The showdown!
Alright, Commander, are you ready?
Friday.
Wait.
Come on down to EuroC Sucks Podcast to see two guys do rock, paper, scissors with no video, only sound. It's a battle of stamina and will of character. Get it on!
Fuck up. Okay, are we doing it on shoot or on scissors?
I really don't think it matters until one of you actually says what you got.
Yeah. Come on.
So, do it on shoot. So, 1, 2, 3, shoot. Do it on shoot.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
You sped up midway?
What'd you get?
Are you autistic?
Medi, what'd you get?
What'd you get?
Medi, what'd you get?
I got paper.
I got rock.
Ha!
Done.
I win!
Vote Best OC by rock, paper, scissors this week goes to Fantasy.
I apologize, Starstruck. I am not good at rock, paper, scissors.
We still love your OC, though.
Being
Yeah.
able to be good at something that is completely luck-based. Okay. There's actually a lot of things that go into rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, the psychological game that is rock, paper, scissors.
Going into the bad OC section.
Fuck!
Yes. Alright, so well, damn it. Now I have to vote between Porcelain Parasite, Cotton Cloud, or Porcelain Parasite, or Parasite. Damn it, that is really hard to say.
Porcelain Parasite.
Okay, Cotton Cloud actually has like a little bit more to it. It's weird because this is almost a case of too much character and not enough character on the other two. I don't know what's going on with the Hershey's chocolate bar. I don't know what's going on with the, Valentine's Day M&M collection. I got to give it to Listless this week, because when I'm looking at Listless cowering, she's not doing anything except cowering. I can't, even in the One Piece where she was even more active, there's just not enough there. So yeah, I'm giving it to Listless cowering.
Wow. This is where it's weird, because I actually liked all of the bad OCs, at least to some degree. I liked Listless's color palette. I didn't really like Desaturation, actually. I also like Cloud Flutter, at least to some degree, because I don't know, it just seems to work, except for that cutie mark. I just don't really feel it with Fire Lily, even though those colors are really good. I really like those colors, except for the cutie mark.
Yeah, the colors are pretty good.
I don't know, I guess.
Give it to Fire Lily.
I guess Dragon Pony Hybrid really bugs me too.
Yes! Commander?
God, it's down to me. Oh, me and Maddie, but it's up to me. Okay.
If it's meant to be,
God.
it's up to me.
God, I'm sitting here like...
Yes, we know you're sitting.
God, I'm just trying to decide, and I think just because, I see a lot of potential, so much potential that I feel just didn't come out at all the way it should have because of certain things. I'd have to give it to Teenage Pony OC, which needs a name and should be redone, really, because I honestly think I see a lot of potential in it.
Please redraw.
So, yeah, redo it and just take not saying that we are the end all be all or anything, but take some of the things that we said in mind and try redo it in a different way. Because I think that this OC could be really cool.
Oh yes. By the way, original intention of this show was to make OCs better. May have strayed from that a little bit originally. Hopefully going back to that.
Hopefully.
But
we're aiming that way.
And so don't take my this is the worst of the bad OCs or whatever the thing negatively, because I'm saying that because I just think that there's unrealized potential, and that's what makes it the most lacking.
My vote is going to Teenage Pony OC, mainly because though Listless had very little of a character, Teenage Pony OC had almost none.
A contradictory character.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So that means the best and worst OC this week goes to Fantasy.
No.
What?
Oh wait.
The best OC this week was Fantasy, and the worst OC this week was Teenage Pony OC.
Obviously, the way he was going to say that was the best and worst was Teenage Pony OC.
No, not at all. Not even in the least bit. So, Mehdi, why don't you once again, even though we haven't already said it like 8 times this episode, tell us where the people can find us at.
You can find us at eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks at twitter.com, eurocsuckspodcast at gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
Fantastic. That's amazing. I can't get enough of it. You read those words so well, Mehdi. I just want them to be my ringtone. So, as I was saying, this is this is our fan-submitted episode. Next week we'll be trying to go back to our regular themes episodes, this time with the topic of unicorns, or at least that's what I'm planning on it. If we happen to change it by then, well, tough shit. That's what we're going to do. We're humans. We change things up every once in a while. But as of right now, next week is going to be unicorns, so we'll be going to be taking a look at our magically inclined pony friends. Once again, yeah, the Unicorn Master Race that it is. Shut up, Changeling. Nobody cares. So once again, this has been Euro C Sucks. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds.
I'm Commander Sparkle.
Brother!
God
I'm
damn.
Eddie Bobo.
And I'm Smooth Sailing.
I fucking hate Metal Gear Solid, and always remember, you guys, Euro C Sucks. Good night, everybody.